Alright, I am in the classroom again. We had a nice weekend of basketball. We got more games tonight, obviously, so I put up a lot of thoughts on my blog, but real quick, I want to talk about some stuff. Bulls Celtics, pretty much game of the weekend for a lot of people. Went to overtime. The Celtics looked sluggish out there. I mean, people are talking about Ray Allen playing awful. They're talking about Paul Pierce missing that free throw, but they were slow. I mean, Derrick Rose was beating them off the dribble. He was getting fast break points, alley-oops. Hakeem Noah and Brad Miller were beasts rebounding, and Perkins and Poe and Big Baby they couldn't step to it. So it's a little disturbing, but I still think Boston probably wins this series. I definitely think they'll win tonight, probably big. Of course, Cleveland won 102-84. LeBron played awesome. Ilgauskas played pretty good. You know, in general, I pretty much liked what I saw from them. They didn't get big-time contributions from anyone other than LeBron, but that's the team, so that's about all you can say there. For Detroit, that team just looks like it doesn't give a crap except for Rodney Stuckey. Stuckey looks good. Mavericks took out the Spurs. I actually thought the Spurs were going to win Game 1 and the Mavericks would win Game 2, but looks like that's going to get flipped. Either way, I thought they would split. I'm pretty confident the Spurs are going to win tonight, but there's something about this Mavs team. I would not be terribly surprised if they won tonight. I think it's going to be a good game. And you know, everything has already been said about this game. Josh Howard was really making me mad in that game because he was taking so many stupid shots, but he was hitting enough of them to where you didn't get too mad at him. I mean, I still feel like he's got to stop taking those retarded shots, but that's Josh Howard for you, right? You know, people talking about Brandon Bass, JJ Barea. The real excuse me, storyline in this game is like they got what you would expect from Tim Duncan. He had 27 and 9. They got what they expected from Tony Parker. He had 28 and 8. That's good contributions by these guys, and they still lost by 8. It wasn't even like a last second buzzer beater. They lost fairly convincingly. So I don't know what they need to do because they got what they can expect out of all their guys. Mason was, you know, solid, throwing in his 13. Finley had a great game. Bonner was useless, but Bonner sucks, so that's what you expect. Drew Gooden was pretty good off the bench. Ime Udoka, or whatever his name is, threw in some points. So it's like I can't look at this game and say, oh, that guy didn't play up to his usual standards. I think they all played up to their usual standards. It just wasn't enough. So that's what's got me thinking about this series. Rockets destroyed the Trailblazers. I really was thinking people like the Trailblazers too much going into this postseason. Ultimately, at the end of the day, they are so young. They don't know how to do this, and they got obliterated Game 1 at home by Houston. What else are you going to say about that? I don't really know where else to go with that, but it's like they just looked really young out there. Brandon Roy was okay. Greg Oden actually played better than I thought he would, but still not very good. Lakers beat the... Oh yeah, Yao Ming was perfect yesterday. He was like 9 for 9 from the field and 6 for 6 from the line. Yao Ming was great. Really liked what I saw from him. Lakers won, of course. You know, watching that game, it's like the Lakers had this big lead. I think they ended up getting like a 20-point lead at one point in the game. They were up 22 at the half, and then they let the Jazz slowly get back into it, and they closed it out. They won by 13, but that has to stop. Remember what happened last year in the finals when they kept coughing up those huge leads against Boston? So somebody on the bench needs to start playing better. I mean, I know Lamar Odom played a pretty good game yesterday. He was all right. Sasha Vujacic and Jordan Farmar were useless. Shannon Brown played pretty good. Somebody's got to step up. I think it's got to be one of those two, Farmar and Vujacic. I don't know what it is. Kobe was solid. Gasol was exactly what you would expect from him. Bryant was actually passing the ball really well, getting his teammates involved. You like to see that. Even Bynum's stats were ugly, but he did have 5 fouls, and they were good fouls. You know, he was preventing people from getting easy buckets, forcing them to go earn it at the line, and you know the Lakers can live with that. But yeah, they won pretty handily. Magic blow it. They had an 18-point lead in the fourth, blew it, lost by 2, thanks to some nice jump shooting by the Sixers down the stretch. And you know, this game reminded me so much of the Boston-Chicago game. It's just, instead of Ray Allen, it was Hedo Turkoglu. And, you know, the Magic did look a little sluggish, especially at the end there, but it's like Turkoglu could not have been more useless out there. Dwight Howard was doing everything that we expect from him and more. He played great, Howard. Rashard Lewis was okay. He wasn't up to his usual standard, but he was passable. Rafier Alston, that's pretty much what you expect from Alston. He's not a great player. Courtney Lee was really good, I thought. And Anthony Johnson came in and had a decent game off the bench. So it's you point at Hedo and wonder what happened, man. If you gave us anything at all, we win that game. Same for Ray Allen. I just actually think Boston has bigger problems than Ray Allen. For the Magic, I think the problems really do start and stop with Hedo right now. He completely off yesterday. Could not have been more useless. I still think the Magic will take this series pretty handily, but I don't know what happened. It's like at the end of the game, they had this big lead, and they kept shooting threes, and they were not hitting their threes yesterday, so got to lay off. Oh man, Miami. It looks ugly right now. I'm going to stick by Miami in 7, but they looked really outclassed yesterday. For a while, it looked like the game I expected. It was close, competitive. Atlanta was a slightly better team, but Miami had the best player, so that would even out at the end. And then it just got out of hand. It was Josh Smith. He's just more athletic than anybody on the Miami front line, so he can do whatever he wants down there. Jermaine O'Neal was a useless husk. Udonis Haslem didn't do anything. Michael Beasley was, you know, solid, but didn't play that much. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Beasley did good, but it's not enough. You know, Wade wasn't very good. 19 points, 8 rebounds. He wasn't the problem. I think he was actually playing pretty well early on, and then the game got out of hand and he started to suck it up, but I don't think he was the problem. I think you're looking, where's his second and third score? They don't got one. And you know, in fairness, Atlanta played a really, really good game. They probably won't play that well again, but I don't know. I mean, maybe Miami doesn't have it in them to beat a better team in a playoff series. And you had the Nuggets taking out the Hornets. Billups exploded. Carmelo was pretty quiet. So that's a positive sign, obviously. They won without their best scorer playing well, and they won handily. J.R. Smith sealed the game up at the end with some big shots. They were able to play well down low. Eliminate Tyson Chandler. Obviously, Chris Paul was good. Peja was a lot better than I thought. Stojakovic actually played solid, but nowhere near enough. Liked what I saw from the Nuggets. People were kind of calling them out a little bit, so this is what I expected from them. 2 games tonight. I think Boston wins big over Chicago. They have to win this one, so I got Boston taking it big time. And second game, I have the Spurs winning over the Mavericks. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mavericks won, but I expect the Spurs to win, tie it up, sending the series back to Dallas. That's all I got. I'll blog more tonight. All right, I'm out.